All right, guys, it's Erica. How are you? Today's video is kind of like a cautionary tale. And I have not seen anybody on the internet talk about what I'm about to share with you. But this is literally what happened to me today. Now, for one, it is 9/9 portal, Mercury retrograde, and a Pisces full moon, okay? I had a conversation with my twin flame, all right? And basically, it finally got down to the point, and I'm like, why are you being like this? You know, like, I don't even understand. Like, I'm super sweet to you. Like, what the fuck is really the problem here? Like, because we just finally got back in contact. Now, I'm going to back this up to I have been in a no contact separation with my twin flame for months. Let's see. Four and a half months, no contact. They do these things, right? So here I am taking it upon myself to manifest my SP, right? So I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, following the tips of the manifestation community, right? And I'm not doing anything like, I never did anything like off the wall. I was just trying to control my thoughts. I was trying to get a hold of my bad and negative thoughts and flip them around into happy thoughts, right? Because, sitting alone, your mind can kind of start wandering. And if you allow yourself to spiral into like a pit of despair and think horrible things, then you're just going to be crying and suicidal, basically. So I was like, you know what? All right, I'm going to get serious about learning to change my thoughts. And I don't just do this with an SP. I do it with everything. I mean, why think a bad thought? I've done that for half my life, and it's a fucking train wreck, right? So when I got into the healing journey and I got into, realizing I'm a twin flame, when I got into all this shit, right? I'm like, let's change our fucking thoughts here, right? I mean, several people are talking about this. Kim Velez, Sammy Ingram, to say just a couple here on YouTube. And I've spoken about it too, and I've helped a lot of people get what they want by teaching them this. But here's something fucking weird that I would have never expected, okay? So let me just time frame this. Let's say within these 4 months, most days I am actively having the thoughts of good thoughts. And I'll just put myself into a scene, right? Like, I'll picture me and my SP, my twin flame in this case, and I'll picture us, and I'll sit there and I'll just put myself into this daydream, or as I'm falling asleep, like a night dream. And I'll picture us holding hands, walking along the beach, and kissing, and we got these cute matching outfits on, red, black, and white outfits, and I'm looking all sexy and tan, and he's always got big stacks of money, and we have drinks, and we're just having a good time. We're having romantic times. I always think about positive thoughts, right? And I just make it a habit to think of better thoughts, you know, instead of like dwelling in sadness or whatever, right? So I have noticed within this 4-month period, there's been 3 times the no contact was broken. And those 3 times have been nights that I actually forgot him. Like, for real forgot. Like, the one time I was talking to somebody else and I was actually kind of excited about them, so I was actually just naturally thinking about about to be at a concert with this certain person, and I was like super excited about that, and that's what I started thinking about as I was falling asleep that night, and I didn't even think about my twin flame, and like I woke up the next morning and he had messaged me, and I'm like, wow, wouldn't you be damned? It's like when you can naturally forget about the SP is when they message you, okay? So, but that got me right back to like, oh, let's think about him, right? More separation, okay? And then, what finally got us back in contact was actually the frickin' universe did something, because I didn't do it, he didn't do it. And the crazy thing is, like, I don't even know, you can never like doubt the power of the universe to just do some shit, right? So here's the crazy thing. Like, a week before we started talking, I had noticed that he, from a whole brand new account, looked at my story. And I'm like, what is this? And I clicked on it because I was like, oh, what is this? It's a whole freaking new account. I guess the account that he used to have apparently got hacked or something. I don't know. But I'm like, oh, he's got a new account? So I'm like, okay, well, he's checking on me. Cool. I didn't do anything. I did nothing. A few days went by and I'm like, maybe I'll go look at that account. And I like went and looked and I'm like, you know, I didn't like anything. I didn't do anything. And then I think I did look at a story on purpose so he'd see that I'm like, you know, giving his energy back. I try to match energy, right? I don't want to chase, like, you know, I don't want to be a chaser. I'm just going to match energy, right? He looked at my story. All right, I see you. Let me look at yours, right? I'm here. Hi. Like, like he knows I freaking love him. You know what I mean? It's not like it's a fucking secret. Like, come on. So it was like, that was that, right? There's not even a thing. It never turned into anything. So I'm still just trying to focus on myself, right? I'm trying to be the best version of myself. I'm sticking with my good thoughts, like, oh, you know, we're happy together, all this, blah, blah, blah. And I get asked to go to the Wiz Khalifa concert. And I'm like, fuck yeah. So I go to the concert and I am just getting drunk and high and just fucking having a blast, right? Like, literally. They had these frozen margarita things and these like big drinks. They were like $42 a piece. I don't even remember. I at least had 4. And I kept adding peach crown. They say you can add like however many shots of peach crown. So delicious, right? And then like literally everyone in the audience is like smoking blunts. So I mean, you walk into that place and you're just automatically getting a contact buzz. So I was fucked up. And I was just shaking my ass. Like, I mean, I think at one point they even had the spotlight on me and people were like watching. And I'm like, yeah, I was really just doing my fucking thing, okay? Not a thought in my head. I was truly living in the moment. And that's what it's all about, really. Getting yourself out of your head, out of your mind, and just living in the moment, into your body, enjoying yourself in the moment, right? Now, as a stay-at-home mom, nights like that, you know, they're very few and far between. As much as I would love to do more of that, most nights I am just at home. And I try to be in the moment with my kids too. Like, especially at nighttime, I do enjoy my home life with my kids, you know, especially at night when we're on the couch, cuddling, just watching TV or whatever. I have my tea. Like, I truly do try to like just be in the moment, enjoying my moment, you know, living for the now. That's what I'm training myself to do that. But it's like when you're out and having a blast, it's so different. I think that happiness, that like that joy, maybe that's aligning with your true self, finding that happiness and joy. That's what I did. I had no fucking clue. Let me tell you. I wasn't even on my phone. That's how much fun I was having. If I did get on my phone, it was literally for the camera, to take some video clips of me dancing and just having a great time, right? I was not looking at social media. I was none of that. Didn't care. And by the time I ended up home, I think I drank like another White Claw and was just dancing to myself and having a good time, right? So I slept for a little bit and I woke up not even late. I woke up early because I wake up with the sun every day. Every day I wake up with the sun. And then most days I'll look at my phone. Oh, it's 8 a.m. Let me go back to sleep till 10:30 or so, 11. So that day I got up early in the morning and I looked at my phone and I checked my Instagram and I seen a message from him. I'm like, oh, get out of here. He messaged me. And his message said, why did you follow me? And I'm like, I didn't, but what? Let me go make sure. I went to his account and it said following. And I'm like, what? I didn't even. And then I looked at my notifications and it said started following him and started following somebody else. Some other fucker that I don't even talk to. One of my ex-friends' boyfriends. And I'm like, what in the Mercury retrograde alien shit just fucking happened? Because I did not. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, well, I unfollowed. I was like, and then I told him, I said, I was at the Wiz Khalifa concert last night. I wasn't even looking at my phone. I swear I didn't follow you, but I unfollowed. And then that got a conversation started. And from there, we've been talking back and forth. And now twice since this has only been a couple weeks now, he's invited me over to his house and then not been there or not answered the door or something. And I'm like, listen, okay, I don't mind driving over there. It's only 10 minutes away. It's not like I got anything else to do. I don't really care. But like, if you're gonna invite me over, answer your fucking door or be there. Right? So I'm thinking, what is this? What is really going on? So today, finally, we had a conversation, all right? After he invited me over. It's early, right? I'm like, okay, I gotta pass a Dunkin' on the way. I'm like, I want some fucking... Okay, let's get this straight. He invited me over at 6 in the morning. I didn't wake up till 8. And I seen his message, and I'm like, I was asleep. I can still come if you want. And then he was like, yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I can be there around 10. And I never heard back. I'm thinking he probably fell asleep. Whatever. I'll just go over because he told me to. Fine. I go and get him a caramel frappuccino. And I go over there and I like knock on the door, and it's like, I swear I fucking heard him in there. In the house, you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not gonna just walk in. Like, I used to when we were like more together, but like, I'm not gonna just walk in. You know, I knocked a couple times. And then I'm like, what in the hell? So I set the caramel frappuccino down on his porch. And I went and stood away. I sent him a video. I like zoomed in. I'm like, okay, well, if you're not going to answer your door, enjoy your frappuccino. Bye. So I drive away, and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to think, what is this mirroring? Like, you know, I'm trying to like, I'm not getting frustrated. I'm just sitting here. What is this showing me? You know, like, why is this being reflected? This is twice now he's told me to come over and then either not been there, or the first time he asked me to come over and talk and bring him a wrap, and then by the time I got there, no, he wasn't there. The car was gone, and then by the time I just drove back to my house, he meant, oh, I'm sorry, I went and got a wrap. I'm like, I literally told you I was on my way bringing you one. So whatever, just a misunderstanding. I did not allow myself to get pissy about it or nothing. I'm just staying in my sweetness. I'm being sweet, you know. And so after today, I was like, you know, I don't know what's going on, but I'm fucking down for you 100%. And like, I don't understand what is going on and why you're being weird or ignoring me when I show up or any of this. And he's like, what do you mean you don't know? It's because of you I'm distant. And I'm like, what do you mean because of me? Like, I'm not even doing anything. Like, he's like, oh, you know what you're doing. I'm like, no, I fucking don't. Like, please explain. Like, because all of my actions have always been like super nice, super sweet, like really understanding. You know, I'm chill. I'm cool. Like, and he's like, don't act like you don't know. And I'm like, I swear to God, please tell me. Like, if I'm doing something wrong that I don't know about, like, tell me so I can adjust my situation here. Like, he's like, well, you need to make a choice. Do you want to be with me in real life, or do you want to be manifesting me? And I'm like, oh, manifesting you? Like, how the fuck does he know that? You know? So he's like, oh yeah. He's like, I feel it when you're doing that shit. I'm like, oh, you do? And he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it. He told me to fucking stop. He told me, he said that's why I'm not fucking talking to you. He's like, because then every time I try to miss you, he's like, every time I think I miss you and I want to message you, and then I tap into your thoughts and you're thinking about me again. Or he's like, I feel you. Or he's like, that shit's fucking with my head. And I'm like, what? Like, oh my God. He's like, so you got a choice. He's like, you be with me for real and you stop that shit, or you just keep doing it and I'm not going to talk to you. What? y'all, I'm just thinking to myself, either the manifesting just worked because he basically said we could be together, or if you're kind of already in tune, like, I'm just saying, like, maybe it doesn't necessarily go too well with certain people. Because he's like, he said something about he has his own thoughts and his own demons, and when he can read my thoughts, that it's like fucking with him or something, or like, and I'm like, I swear to God, I'm not trying to do that. Like, I'm trying to give myself happy thoughts, so I'm not sad. You know what I mean? Like, instead of sitting there like missing him, I'll just, when I'm falling asleep, I'll think of good things. I'll think of like, sometimes I'll even see us like in a car, like just driving somewhere, just being together. Like, it's never anything crazy. Like, you know what I mean? It's never anything like, unrelatable or whatever. Like, it's definitely just stuff that could happen. Sometimes I think about things that have already happened, like the beautiful day that we met. That was like probably one of the best days of my life. Like, I don't know what it was. It was just seeing him for the first time, seeing each other for the first time. Like, I'll never forget. In fact, I like to remember that sometimes. It's a happy thought. Like, I feel good when I think about that. And I feel good when I think about him. So, it did make me sad. Like, I started crying. I'm sitting there, like, I had to pull over, right? Because I was driving back from his house, trying to read his text. And we're, like, having a real conversation now. And I'm like, I had to pull over. And I'm like, I felt really sad. I did. I felt bad that he took it like that. Because that's not, you know what I mean? And I said, I am sorry. Like, he's like, stop doing it. He's like, if you want to be together, stop doing that shit. And I'm like, okay, like, I will. I'm like, but what do I think about? I'm like, I explained myself to him, like, please understand that it was never bad stuff. Like, I'm seeing you like in a good way, or like seeing me in a good way. I'm like, and it's not just you. Like, I obviously think about other stuff too. Like, with anything. So I think he knows that, and I think he understands that, and I think he like maybe even appreciates it in a little way, but he said that it messes, like, I don't know, I guess the energy messes with him. So he basically told me, he's like, if you do it again, he's like, we can be together for real, but if you do that again, like, it's done. And I'm like, okay, like, I promise, I won't. And I'm like, but listen, like, I'm gonna try. Like, I'm not gonna purposely do it, but my mind does wander to him. Like, obviously, like, I love him. So I'm sitting here bored, like, I need something to occupy my mind. I'm like, what do I do? Tell me, what should I think about? Like, I don't know. He's like, draw, write music, write songs, write poems. I'm like, okay, all right, you're right. Because I have been meaning to start like writing more songs, getting my music career up and running, which, by the way, if you want to hear my first song and music video that I put out for the public, you guys know I do a lot of hypnotic recordings and stuff, but they are not for the public. They are for paid customers. But I am going to start dropping some more for public. That way, like, men or women can listen to them. It's whatever. My Instagram channel for my music is Kamikaze Kitten. And I spell it Kamikaze KAZII33 dot KIIT3N. So that's my name for my music. Anyway, like, we finally had this serious, like, conversation here, and it's like, shit, he fucking feels me manifesting him, and he's like, that's witch shit. He's like, don't do that shit. He's like, I like you all on my own thoughts. Like, I don't need you to do that shit. He's like, that's manipulation or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, every channel that I've heard talk about manifesting an SP, it's very clear that, like, it's not. Like, I'm allowed to think good things. You know what I mean? That's what I told him. I'm like, so after that whole conversation, I get back home and I'm starting to think a little bit, like, what if this motherfucker is just a mind reader and he's tapping into my thoughts? Because, you know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, I said, well, something about you must like that because, or maybe that's true. He doesn't like it because the days or nights that I did not think about him, that's when he messaged me. So take from this video what you will. It could either be when I let that thought go, let it all go and was happy anyway, that energy made him come towards me, which we know that that's a thing, right? We know that that's a thing. When you kind of forget about someone and, you know, focus on your own happiness, that kind of attracts them back. But yeah, so maybe me thinking all these good thoughts about us pushed him away on accident. So that would really suck. Because what if, like, we could have been together this whole fucking time and he's just waiting on me to stop fucking thinking about him? But isn't that backwards? Isn't that, like, weird? I don't know. And if he, like, I was like, but you manifested me. And he's like, no, I didn't. I was like, well, you astral traveled to me. He's like, that's different. That's not manifesting. And I'm like, okay, you're right. You're right. Like, because he does go out of body and travel to me. You know what I mean? And because, like, I'm not necessarily, I've done that, like, a couple times, but I have not, like, perfected the art of that. You know, he can do it. And he's done it several times. And that's how I even fell in love with him to begin with, because I used to not even talk to him. He used to message me and I'd be like, I'm not talking to you, you know? Like, first of all, when he first started messaging me, he was too young. So I was like, no. But, you know, years went by and he had a few birthdays there and he kind of started talking to me again. And I was like, kind of started looking at him a little differently. But I was still like, I'm not really. And then he astral travels to me. And I'm like, oh, so maybe you do like me. I don't know, right? So this whole thing, like, he started it. He freaking started it. He's got the ability to astral travel. And now I find out he's got the ability to read minds. How scary. So it's like, well, if you can really read my mind, don't you know that I love you? Like, don't you know that I'm for real? Like, I'm not thinking about other guys. Like, wouldn't you be happy to read somebody's thoughts and know they're thinking good things? I'm like, but babe, like, I'm seeing us, like, out on vacation. He's like, Just stop. I'm like, okay. So I don't know. Like, he said we could be together. So, yay. But like, is this for real? I really got to stop, man. I got to stop thinking about him. I told him I'm going to try really hard to not, because I really, you know what? I don't want to fuck this up. I told him, I was like, look, he said it like twice. He's like, do you want to be with me for real? Or do you want to keep manifesting? And I'm like, I want to be with you for real. Like, duh. I'm like, the only reason I was manifesting is because you weren't there. Like, so, I mean, I'm just thinking maybe manifesting an SP only works on people who don't know anything about spirituality or don't, like, understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like because he's so in tune or spiritually inclined or like whatever, I mean, he's pretty telepathic. And it's not the first time I've seen that. He's got a friend that's telepathic too. And I remember this one time we were over there and like we were just hugging. That was it. Like we were not about to get down to any kind of inappropriate business or not. Like he had buddies over. Like we just walked down the hallway near his room and I was about to leave. So I was like, okay, let's, we were just giving each other a beautiful hug and just holding on to each other. And like his friend walks in the room. He's like, oh, I felt those thoughts. I'm going to shut this door. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I wasn't even thinking impure thoughts. I was enjoying the hug. So it's like, maybe he was actually the one thinking about it. Like, I don't know, either that or my body was doing the talking. He's like, oh, I seen your sacral chakra light up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to say maybe my sacral chakra didn't light up from his hug, but I wasn't thinking impure thoughts. I was just enjoying the hug. So like, yeah, him and his friend, and then it's like I'll watch them. Like I've been there a couple times only, but like I seen him and his other telepathic friend, and I was talking about manifesting to them a little bit. I was like, well, just start picturing yourself. If you guys want to get this one deal with this one guy or whatever, like picture it happening, like put those thoughts into the universe. Like there's no secret that like I'm trying to keep from people. You know what I mean? Like I'll talk about it. It's not like I'm like trying to do anything like bad or whatever. So, but I could see him and his friend like telepathically communicating and then like getting up to go do something. And I'm like, that's the weird thing. I just thought I manifested that just happening. And when they went and did that, I was like, I think I just manifested you guys doing that. And he's like, no, we were just telepathically communicating with each other and just knew what we were going to do. And I'm like, maybe I was tapped into y'all. I don't know, guys. So, I don't know. I'm just telling you. If you've been thinking thoughts about your SP and it seems like you're not getting any communication from them, maybe try stopping and seeing. I don't know, y'all. I've never known anyone like him. Because it seems like with other people, it's really, really easy for me. Because then again, I don't hold on to those other people. Like if I'm just thinking about, oh, I need to get a hold of my one friend about this certain thing later, and I just have a quick thought, and I'm like, oh, I need to message her later. Then I quickly get busy with like, cleaning off my counter or, whatever. It's a fleeting thought. It's a passing thought, and I'm not holding on to it. And then next thing you know, she's messaging me 10 minutes later, and I'm like, dude, I was just fucking thinking about messaging you. Like, I think I manifested you messaging me. But when it is our SP, for me anyway, I feel like I hold him. Like, those thoughts that I have about us, I feel like maybe I'm holding on to them too much instead of just letting them pass. And in true hindsight now, seeing when I truly did leave the thoughts go and enjoy my moment in life of happiness, he did message me. So I'm going to keep you posted. If I can get him on a video, I'm going to get us both talking on a video about it. I would love to get a video of us just talking about the whole thing, because this has been a long time coming. This has been years. This has been years of us growing together, flowing apart, growing together stronger, flowing apart again. It's been years. And if he's like serious about like us being together, he even said he would post me. He even said he would fucking post me. Like, oh, right? So I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna fuck this up. I'm not gonna fuck this up. I want to be with him for real. Like, I'm gonna just try. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna not manifest him. So now it's like anytime he gets into my head, I'm gonna have to think, how can I redirect this thought? But now I'm scared, because I'm like, what if I think about money and then money doesn't want to come to me anymore? I don't know what I'm gonna think about. So he's right. He's absolutely correct. I should write. I should draw. And then I was like, I did draw. I painted, actually. I painted a picture of us together. I'm like, I didn't know what else to do. And I was like, would you like to see it? And he's like, yeah. And I showed it. I took a picture of it and showed him. He's like, wow, that's raw. I'm like, thank you. So I'm just going to have to figure it out, because I'm not going to fuck this up, hopefully. So if this helped any twin flames or anyone else in the manifesting community, like, let me know. I really want to help people, because I want everyone to be happy. I want us to be with our people, like, And I'm just saying, maybe, just maybe, some people don't like it, because he's blatantly told me he does not like it and doesn't want me to do it anymore. So just a thought. Maybe there's others like him. I don't know. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope this video helped. Comment if you want to, and I'm gonna keep you guys updated, of course. It's been a long time coming. But yeah, if he wants me to kind of be a little bit more private, I'll do that too. So, but yeah, I'm hoping I can actually get him on a video with me, and he can actually share his side of how he felt, because everybody else that gets their boyfriends on here and they're sharing about how they felt, they sit there and say, oh, well, I just thought it was my own idea. Mine's not going to say that. He's not going to fucking say, oh, I thought that was my own idea. He's going to say, oh, I could feel her thoughts. I could see her thoughts. He's not going to be like, oh, I thought it was all my idea. No. Definitely not. So, watch it. Beware. That's all I'm saying. Stay tuned. Happy Mercury retrograde and Pisces full moon and 9/9 portal, y'all. Positive shifts are happening. I see it. I believe it. Union is now.